What's up guys, welcome to new Unreal Engine 5 tutorial. Today I am going to show you how to create a battery. So it will slowly run out, and when it's fully out, it will go ahead and disable the light bulb. It's going to be a very easy build to follow, so let's get started. Alright, so the first thing I have to do is open up my third person character or whatever character you're using, and in this example, like I said, I'm going to be using a light bulb. So I'm going to go into my mesh, just add a sphere, which will be our light. And in my case, I'm gonna attach this into my player's head and just put a bit up and change the scale to around 0.2. Okay, so for me, this will be my light bulb. So let me create a material which will emit some light, which will also be green, indicating that we have battery. So let's just create a new material, m underscore, and this will just be battery on. And now we can just open this up, hold 3 left click to create a new constant value, put that to the base color, put that to the emissive color, and in my case it will be green. Now I'm gonna times the emissive color by maybe like 3, so it's a bit more strong. As you can see, I just compile, save, and plug this in. So now I just have a light bulb that will emit some light, as you can see in my player's head, which looks pretty nice. And like I said, I'm just using this as an example. You can plug what I'm going to show you right now in whatever system you have. Okay, so let's go into our event graph, and what I want to do is every second or every period of time decrease my battery, and if it's lower than 0, just go ahead and stop the light. So in my case, I'm gonna start in the gameplay. So when the game starts, I'm gonna add this node, which is the set timer by event. What this node will do is start a new custom event and repeat it in a loop, or whatever we prefer, every time. So let's go ahead and create a new custom event, which will be take a battery, and I want to set this to looping and repeat every second. So once we get to this node, it will repeat this custom event in a loop, because I have looping on, between each 1 second. Okay, so what I'm going to do is create a new variable, and in our case this will be our current battery. I'm gonna be setting this to a float, and each time that we go here, we're gonna go ahead and just decrease it by 1. So this node is very handy because I can just decrease it by 1 and automatically set it into the variable, so we'll update it. So if when I decrease it, the current battery is now lower or equal to 0, that means that it has run out. So in my case, what I want to do is set my light material to be disconnected. In my case, I'm gonna create a new battery, so let me just new material, sorry, which this will be battery off. I'm gonna just change the color to be just red. Okay, so now I can just apply, close, plug it in. So now when the battery goes into 0, it will stop. So if I press play, you can see that I have it green, and then it went to red. Now also we have to set a current battery value at the start. Let's put, for example, 3. So it will take 3 seconds to deactivate my battery, as you can see. Well, to run out of battery. As you can see, everything is working. We can also print here in the false, because we still have battery on the current battery that we have. So I just compile, press play. You can see at the top left corner to 1 and then 0, it goes to red. So that's a way of just previewing that. Okay, so let's go ahead and just create a progress bar in 3D so we can just preview our battery that we have. So just right click, create a user interface, widget blueprint, use a widget WB underscore, let's just name this one as battery bar. Okay, so in here what I am going to do is add a canvas panel so we can place things on our widget, and then get a progress bar, which we'll use to fill up our bar, of course. So let's go ahead and just center the anchor at the middle. Now I'm gonna set the position X and Y as 0, 0, so they're exactly at the center, and the alignment 0.5 and 0.5. So now, yes, you can see it is pretty much at the center. Now let's make this a bit bigger, so maybe the size around 700, and in the size Y maybe just 20 or even 30. Okay, so the thing is that we're going to be applying this widget in 3D, so it will not appear in the middle of the screen in 2D, okay? Don't worry about that. So now, as you can see, we can change the color. In my case, let's put something as more green, symbolizing battery, and then we can put a percent. Now, if I put 0.7%, you can see the pretty much finished fills up this, and that's because this percent value goes from 0 to 1. That is very important. So what we have to do is just add this widget to our character. So let's go ahead and do so. In my case, I'm gonna make it a child of light, so I'll be using 3D. So let me just add a widget over here, In my case, they're gonna select the widget class, which will be the battery bar. Okay, so now if I increase this and just change it from screen to world, from world to screen, it will be always looking at me. You can see the bar, but of course it is not updating because we haven't put any logic in our progress. So let's go into our percent and just bind it. A binding will allow us to change the percent whenever a value is updated. So in my case, I can just get the player character and now just cast, so access my third person character blueprint or whatever character blueprint you're using. Okay, so now what I can do is just access my get current battery. If I know how to type, there we go. And then, because this value goes from 0 to 1 in the progress bar, and in my case I am going from 3 to 0, I would just want to divide this by 3 because it is my max battery. So very important, you have to divide this always by our max battery. You can also create a variable if you want to be more convenient. So now we can just plug that in, compile, press play. You can see that it will decrease. Now you can see that it is working, but it is updating not so often and just in a big chunks, which doesn't look very good. So that's a quick thing that we can do, and just go to the event graph and change how often this will update. In my case, let's just put it to be at maybe 0.1. Now of course, if we change this to update more often, it will also take the battery more often. So instead of just decreasing directly by 1, we can just subtract it by, let's say, also 0.1. So now we can just go ahead and set the current battery, plug this in, and now if I go ahead and press play, you can see that it will update more often, but it still doesn't look very good. So we can go ahead and just go and put another 0 on there, another 0, so now it will be 0.01, and now you can see that it will happen way more often and pretty much is very smooth, and it will still wait 3 seconds, which is very nice. So that's it for this tutorial. If you found it helpful, I would really appreciate if you could like the video and subscribe to my channel. I have lots of Unreal Engine 5 tutorials, so check them out. The profiles will be available in my Patreon and YouTube members. Join my Discord server, follow me on my socials, and now yes, with all I said, bye bye.